Hello, everybody. Good evening. Today, I want to talk about Palantir. I didn't really have a video planned. The only reason I'm making this video is because I want to talk off of my chest about what I see is happening with Palantir and where I think this might lead to in 2023. I believe Dr. Alex Karp is finally starting to play the game. And with him finally starting to play the game, Palantir is finally starting to play the game. How so? Number one, an increase in sales force. Number two, the shareholder letter. Number three, open interviews with Stanley, open interview with CNBC, and just in general, moving the pace along, playing the game, doing marketing, making sure we have eyes, making sure we have ears on Palantir front and center, reiterating on the CNBC interview that Palantir is, in fact, in Ukraine, that Palantir is pushing the pace, talking about, the David and Goliath scenario, so on and so forth. And because Dr. Alex Karp is doing this, he's starting to get a lot more clout. He's starting to get a lot more coverage. For example, Tom Nash the other day put out a tweet that he's actually seeing the same thing that I'm seeing. Earlier today, I saw Amit interviewing Meet Kevin, and he asked Meet Kevin about Palantir, and Meet Kevin gave a quick 1.5 minute response, which I'm going to play in this video. Shout out to Amit. I hope you don't mind if I take a little bit of your content. I don't want to steal it, and I'm going to link Amit's video down below. You guys should definitely watch it. He has the full interview coming out soon, but this is one of the reasons why I'm making this video. Besides for Tom Nash, which I'll show you his tweet right now, besides for Meet Kevin's opinion on this, obviously my man Amit and the rest of the Palantir community. Also, you have like Jeremy, who's now reviewing the Palantir interview from Financial Education. He's a really big YouTuber. It's really, really good to get all of this attention. It's really, really good to get all of these eyes and ears. And yes, Palantir is a meme stock with 100% utility and 100% factual working products. Like, the products that Palantir puts out is absolutely amazing, second to none, literally top of the line, and people have to catch up to Palantir. But it also has a meme-like army behind it, and sometimes you need to remind the army why we're pushing, why we're supporting, so on and so forth. So all of these things that Dr. Alex Karp is doing, between all of the new interviews, between more of the pep in your step, shall we say, and obviously hiring the workforce, is helping to propel us. And I think that we have a really, really good chance of going up, 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 and away in 2023. As Dr. Alex Karp said in the CNBC interview, and by the way, if you didn't watch that interview, I will leave a link to the full interview. It was cut up and chopped up by Darton's Media. And he did a really, really good job of only putting in the main points. But one of the quotes that Dr. Alex Karp said was, hey, not all companies are going to survive, right? Because of the economic downturn. But he also alluded to that's also where Palantir does thrive and why Palantir is so much needed in bad times. So this is the tweet that Tom Nash put out the other day. Shout out to Tom Nash, man. Really, really like this YouTuber. He says, we have to talk about Alex Karp, shocking CNBC interview. And he goes through the entire interview, and you guys could watch it. He's going to give you his own thoughts about it. But before this, look what he puts out. He writes, Alex Karp's software update is a big success. And to this, I said, glad people are seeing this. He's actively doing marketing and PR. He's starting to play the game a little bit. If a little bit of luck finds the hard work, we can really take off in 2023. And I was actually on Darton's podcast the other day, and they asked me a little bit about what's happening with Palantir. How do I feel about Palantir? And I explained, that there's a lot of things that Palantir is doing, that Dr. Alex Karp is doing, that you could see what they're doing, and they're kind of trying to shift the momentum and make people understand what exactly they do. And if you guys have been following Palantir for a while, whether it's my channel or somebody else's channel, you can clearly see this. Again, guys, I want to apologize in advance. I don't want to steal Amit's thunder, and he has a full interview coming out with Meet Kevin. I don't even know how Amit finds so much time. This guy works his ass off, and he deserves every bit of success that he has. And man, great interview. So let's play this 1.5-minute clip.
Last question. I got 2 minutes with you left. I got to ask you this question. You got to do it for my channel. You know this was coming. Any thoughts on Palantir? Any updated thoughts on the company? How you feel about them?
You know what I think is really interesting is Mr. Karp has been not Karp, Peter Thiel has been really anti-sales, folks, and he's always been super anti-sales. And so recently he's kind of flip-flopped, and they're expanding their sales division a lot, which is usually what you do with SaaS. Like usually the biggest expenses at software service companies are how much can we sell so we can get the funnel as big as possible. Our acquisition costs are going to be high in the early years, but in the future, we're going to have a lot of customers with low churn and a lot of income. I mean, if you want to see like SaaS that's like cranking, just look at a company like CrowdStrike. I mean, their income statement is amazing. I mean, you're talking like over 50% year-over-year growth, and you could see their advertising is not even expanding that much anymore relative to the income that's coming in. Like the SaaS model is phenomenal, and there's a huge opportunity to buy SaaS companies now. But in terms of Palantir, like it's very, I think, smart that they are moving over to sales. So I think it was a good flip-flop. I think it was one they needed, because the reality is, I think the vast majority of people have absolutely no clue what Palantir does. I don't profess to know everything that Palantir does at all. And I think you need salespeople to help explain that. And so I actually think it's a really smart decision.
So that's Meet Kevin. I think he still owns some Palantir, if I'm not mistaken. And the reason why I brought up this video is look at what Meet Kevin is saying about how they're hiring the sales force and how that's such a good idea, and that still most people don't know what Palantir does. And that's one of the problems. So Palantir's issue is not the actual product. It's not the actual utility. It's unquestionable about what Palantir, it's unquestionable of what Palantir brings to the table. Like seriously, they are 100% gangster. They're 100% about it. Just look what they're doing for the U.S. government allies. I mean, there's no question Palantir does what they do, right? It's not, no one can say Palantir doesn't do anything. Palantir is just a meme stock. Palantir is a Bed Bath & Beyond. No, Palantir is literally solving some of the craziest issues around the world, both military, non-military, government, and non-government alike. So the question is, why is Palantir going down? Why is it not growing? One of the main reasons is the marketing. One of the main reasons is the PR. And one of the main reasons is we're just not playing the game. And I feel like they finally are off the bench. They finally got their A-team, and they finally changed coaches, or at least pivoted and shifted the game plan. And now that you're playing the game a little bit differently, you might just be able to persevere. You might just be able to be prosperous in 2023. Again, I'm just going to base this on a couple of things. Increasing the sales force, more interviews, shareholder letter, and the shareholder letter. Those things, at the very least, are huge. And did you notice how they keep, showcasing any new partnership, any extensions of contracts, so on and so forth? So besides for the actual utility, besides for the actual Palantir is the only ones that do things. For example, ICE was supposed to leave Palantir. Their contract ended in November. They ended up extending the contract until 2027. Why? Dr. Alex Karp said this many times before. He's like, in light of working with me, people still work with us. In other words, he's saying people hate me, and they still have no choice but to work with Palantir because nobody else can do what Palantir does. And there's countless situations like this where people are kind of ragging on Palantir, shitting on Palantir, going to leave Palantir. And at the end of the day, what do? They come back to Palantir because nobody does what Palantir does. And the only thing that they need to do is now shed some light on what they exactly do. And it seems like they are just starting to do that. And with a little bit of luck and perseverance, and that's going to meet all of the hard work that we've been doing, the culmination, maybe we can actually get to the moon. Guys, again, I didn't want to plan anything for this video. I just want to talk from my heart. I wanted to get this off my chest and just say that at least I see a pivot of what Palantir is starting to do, including Dr. Alex Karp. And just maybe we can see something from this. Just maybe we can moon up and level up from this. And just maybe Palantir can actually thrive in the bad times about what's happening, because right now is bad mother effing time. Do me a favor, guys. You don't have to like, you You don't have to share. You don't have to subscribe. I'm asking you to do one thing. Down below, honest answer. Do you or do you not see a shift, a change in the trend that Dr. Alex Karp and Palantir is now starting to play the game a little bit more? Please let me know if I am alone with, a couple of other people that see this, or the Palantir community is actually seeing this. And I do have a link down below to the Palantir Discord. Support the Palantir Discord. They give you so much information, and some of the community leaders within the social influencers of Palantir are in the Discord. Definitely give them a like. Thank you. Have a great evening. The Berg is out.